What's up, everyone? My name's Owen, and welcome back to the Bent Fender podcast. Welcome back. This is the first review of 2023. So, I'm glad to be back. Now, let's get into it. Because there is a lot to get through. I think I had 3 pages of notes from this race. And this race is the Clash at the Coliseum, which is not a point-paying race. So, all of the silly season updates. Kurt Busch retired. Jimmy Johnson is returning for Legacy Motor Club. He is driving the 84, and he is not driving the full-time schedule. Petty GMS is now Legacy Motor Club, with Jimmy Johnson being a part owner, part driver now. Kyle Busch leaves JGR and joins RCR. Alex Almirola did not retire at the end of last season, which we all thought he would. And he's back full-time this year. Ryan Preece is taking over for Cole Custer. Ty Gibbs is taking over for Kyle Busch. Ty Dillon goes from Petty GMS to Spire. And a couple rule changes. The Hail Melon that Ross Chastain did at Martinsville last year is banned for safety reasons. And there is no stage cautions. There's no caution at stage end at road courses. So, I think that's all of the silly season updates that are like the big ones. If I missed anything, any of them, please let me know in the comments. I'm not a real big silly season guy. So, for qualifying, there were 4 heats. And the top 5 advance to the main event, and caution laps do not count. That's the same with the main race. So, in Heat 1, Justin Haley and Alex Almirola, or Justin Haley was on pole, Alex Almirola was in P2. Haley leads off the start. Then Harrison Burton spins off of Gregson, bringing out the first and only caution in this heat. Logano is in the final transfer spot. And Alex Almirola takes the lead, and Almirola wins. And he is on pole for the main event. So the 5 going through for Heat 1 was Alex Almirola, Alex Bowman, Justin Haley, Noah Gragson, and Joey Logano. Alright. In Heat 2, Kyle Busch was on pole, and Austin Dillon was in P2. Busch leads. Austin Dillon, within the first 2 laps, was in the final transfer spot. Then Ricky Stenhouse was in the final transfer spot. Martin Truex takes the lead. Then Austin Cindric spins off of Harvick, bringing out the first caution in Heat 2, which was the only caution in Heat 2. Then Chase Elliott takes out Cindric, but it stays green. Elliott takes the last transfer spot, and Harvick takes the last transfer spot at the line. There were some heavy hitters in this heat. with Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. Austin Dillon's a pretty big name. Ricky Stenhouse. Like, there were some pretty big names in this heat. So, a couple had to not make it. So, the 5 cars that advanced in this one were Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, and Kevin Harvick. All right, on to heat number 3. So, Christopher Bell was on pole. Denny Hamlin started P2. Ryan Blaney was in the final transfer spot. Denny Hamlin took the lead. Then Christopher Bell ended up in the final transfer position. Keselowski spins off of Suarez, bringing out the first and only caution in heat number 3. Or was that a caution? I think that was... No, that wasn't a caution. I'm trying to remember if the next thing was a caution, but... So after that, Gilliland was in the last transfer spot. Then Christopher Bell spins off of Gilliland and Blaney, as Blaney hit Gilliland, and Gilliland got into the back of Bell. Daniel Suarez takes the last transfer spot, as Denny Hamlin wins. So the 5 going through were Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Daniel Suarez. All right, on to the 4th and final heat. William Byron was on pole, and AJ Allmendinger was in position number 2. Then Bubba Wallace took the last transfer spot. Then Jones was in it. Then Ryan Pierce was in it, or Priest was in it. Then Allmendinger. Then Jones again. This one was just a battle for the last transfer spot, really. Byron just blew away with everything. And William Byron wins. And the 5 cars going through were William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Ryan Preece, and Eric Jones. Now, there were 2 last chance qualifiers, which were 50 laps rather than the heat's 25 laps. And only 3 out of the 8 cars in each qualifier advanced. So, in this, Michael McDowell was on pole, and Christopher Bell was in P2. Then Bell was in the last transfer spot. Then it was Gilliland. Then Bell takes the last transfer spot. Harrison Burton misses the corner and drops out to 4th. Then Todd Gilliland takes the last transfer spot as Michael McDowell wins. And the 3 going through were Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, and Todd Gilliland. All right, going on to the last chance qualifier, so the second one. So Chase Elliott was on pole, and Ty Gibbs started P2. Then Gibbs fell to the last transfer spot. Then Allmendinger was in it. And Chase Elliott wins. And the 3 going through were Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, and AJ Allmendinger. Then there was a provisional starter spot, which went to Austin Cindric. I think that was for one of the last year's playoff drivers automatically gets in if they don't make it. I kind of wanted to see Jimmy in one of these, but Jimmy was waiting for Daytona to reemerge. But what can you say? All right, now for the main event. So the main event was 150 laps with a break halfway at 75 laps. There were no stages. So, Eric Almirola was on pole, and Martin Truex Jr. was in P2. Almirola leads off the start. Then Eric Jones spins out, bringing out the first of many cautions in this race. And Jones ends up being the first car out of the race. Denny Hamlin took the lead. Then Ryan Blaney spins and collects Suarez, Elliott, and Gibbs, bringing out the second caution. After that, AJ Allmendinger spun, bringing out the third caution. Bubba Wallace takes the lead. Then Denny Hamlin spins off Chastain, bringing out the fourth caution, and refueling the fire of that rivalry from last year, which is going to be fun to watch. Then it was the halfway break, which was the fifth caution. And at the halfway break, Wiz Khalifa performed, which he performed four songs. I don't remember all of them. So at the halfway break, there were 3 cars a lap down and only 1 car out. Then the second half began. All right. Ty Gibbs spins. Kevin Harvick spins off of Gilliland. Christopher Bell spins McDowell. Then Ty Gibbs is in the pits and he is out of the race. He broke something in the chassis, so he could not continue. Or I don't know exactly what happened. After that, AJ Allmendinger and Christopher Bell get together, bringing out the 10th caution. Kyle Busch spins off of Logano. Justin Haley spins. Briscoe spins. Then Blaney hits the wall. Martin Truex takes the lead. Then Michael McDowell is slow on the track. And that brings out the 15th caution. And McDowell is out. He ended up running out of fuel. Same with Austin Cindric, who they just didn't... The broadcast didn't even say anything when he went off. They just panned to him when McDowell was slowed. It was like, oh, there's Cindric. Looks like he's out of the race. It's like, what happened with him? Like, what? After that, Bubba Wallace goes around off of Dillon, bringing out the 16th caution. Todd Gilliland ran out of fuel and was out of the race. This was at the same time of McDowell, but they didn't tell us that he was out of the race. And Martin Truex Jr. ends up winning, and the top 5 was Martin Truex Jr., Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, and Kyle Larson. And at the end of this race, they did the first ever medal ceremony. So only the first 3 got it. So Truex, Dillon, and Busch got it. Yeah, all in all, this race and this event was. I like the event. It's a cool event. Um, think they could have got a better performer than Wiz Khalifa. Like, they had Gwen Stefani in the booth for the heat rate for one of the heat races. They could have got her to perform because her and Blake Shelton were there. Like, they could have got them to perform. But other than that, Nick, the racing was The racing was good. It was hard. It was. There are a lot of bump and runs. I think if you didn't get bumped at least once in a corner, something was. You were either in the lead or you were out of the race because everyone was bumping and banging. There were 3 wides going into the corners. It was just nuts. And I think that's why I'm going to rate this yesterday's whole event and races a 9 out of 10. It was amazing. Yeah. So, join me in 2 weeks when I review the Daytona 500. So please remember to like and subscribe. And go check out my other 2 channels. My main channel of Fan Rantan, where that's a kind of a variety channel where I do multiple things. As well as go check out my second channel where me and my friends play D&D. That is called Drunkards and Dumbasses. You can also find that under the Boundless Shores. So, please go check those out. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching. Peace.